Hi, welcome to the Story with Reddit channel. A new video will be released every day. Subscribe to the channel. What the worst I don't fit in here experience you've ever had? Went on the company ski trip, which sounds posher than it actually is, and we have to pay for it out of our wages. Had to sit on a dinner table with the heads of the company and some other high-up people from different companies, and the stuff they were talking about in terms of leisure activities were well out of my league. When you try to join the conversation and you get a patronizing smile from one of them who doesn't engage you, conversation has a strange effect on you. Finished my dinner and fucked off to the bar. If you're paying for it out of your wages, it's not a company ski trip, it's your own ski trip that your company is invading, lol. In fact, in the US, your employer cannot make an out-of-pocket trip be mandatory if you're a W-2. It's either paid for, or it's optional. Things can be optional, but still have your career prospects somewhat contingent on attending in practice though. Reminds me of a job interview I had once during my senior year of college. They took all the candidates to a group dinner with some partners in the firm. It was there I learned that all the candidates were in Ivy League schools and I was the only candidate from a public university. The meal was easily $100 plus per person. One of the candidates was president of Harvard's wine club, or something of that sort. They were talking about everything from wine pairings, caviars, and riding camels in Morocco. One partner at the firm mentioned how she likes to stay for the credits during films so she can see the names of her friends pop up. All her friends did that apparently. Didn't get the job. But I think it worked out pretty well for both them and me, lol. Well, hey, you were qualified enough to be at that table and that itself is something. Silver thanks, lol, but it more pissed me off than anything. Was kind of an in-your-face reminder of how even when you're at the table, you're not. What can I add of value to that conversation? Nothing. What do I relate to from their lives? Not a whole lot. It's not always malicious, intentional, or even always someone's fault, but these shared experiences and privileges that those on the outside could never dream of are part of the obstacles that prevent them from ever breaking in. I found a great job and I won't pretend that I'm not extraordinarily lucky myself. I am. But I just try to be mindful of making sure I don't facilitate similar things. Because it's often not intentional. It comes from accepting everything around you as a given that you never even notice. I'm in my late 20s and going to the same clothing stores I've been going to for over a decade. Seeing 12-plus-year-old girls. Feeling lost, not knowing where to shop. My casual clothes have literally not changed since I was a teen. My professional wardrobe is so different from my casual clothes that it looks like two different guys in my closet. How many guys are actually in the closet at your place? The causal guy got out of the closet. I watched a lot of Pokemon when I was like 8. I went to a local anime convention and I was so confused and awkward. Everyone was in cosplay and talking about anime and I just sat there looking at my Pokemon cards all depressed. New. That sounds so sad. All the anime cons I've been to always had a TCG area where you likely could have had fun. Hell, the last one I went to also had a DS Pokemon tournament next to all the cosplay stuff going on. You had really bad luck with yours. Yeah, usually the kids playing card games at the tables look like they're having more fun. The same thing happened to me, haha. I was like 11 and my mom took me to one of the VGCs in the area. I was so fucking pumped. I spent the whole car ride getting ready and putting the finishing touches on my team. But then I got there and I was so uncomfortable. I'm honestly not even really sure why, I just hated it and the people were bothering me. I think I expected to be around a bunch of other kids my age, but there were a lot of adults there instead. I ended up sitting on the ground and doing homework at some point because it was just too much for me. I did make it to the quarterfinals in the junior division, but my heart wasn't in it. Wanted to learn to play guitar, found out about a class for beginner sessions for adults. Call up, they say yeah, come along, we have a mixed group and we will see you in the morn. Great. Turn up to this little church-like building and head in. Guy says you must be, me, 27-28 at time. Take a seat and we will get going in a minute. Please note I'm first to arrive and the seats were tiny, but I didn't think anything of it at the time, just assumed it was what was available. Next minute a group of small children rush in and take their places, about 5 to 6 years old, with their guitars. Teacher starts taking the lesson. I'm OBV feeling awkward as I'm like Tom Hanks in Big and wanting to get out as soon as possible but too polite to just get up and walk out. Teacher then announces that we will be getting up on stage at the end to show what we've learned. Please note all these little shits are 10x better than me, but I'm committed now and maybe it won't be so bad. Until the door opens and all of the parents walk in to watch the show. So there I was, sitting on a little chair with my knees higher than my head, strumming along to some tune I couldn't play, surrounded by 5 to 6-year-old and parents looking at me with that face you know wants to laugh. Edit. Wow. Just woke up to a ton of notifications. Only this week have I received my first silver and now I have more golds and silvers. Many thanks. So I read all of your comments and had a good laugh along the way through listening to your stories. A few answers for you guys. Mixed group. No idea how this went from mixed to a group of 5 to 6-year-olds, but I didn't want to say anything at the end as the kids' parents were still there. I just wanted to get out of there as quickly possible. Did I carry on? With that group? No way. With guitar? Kind of, but not really. I can play a couple of easy bits now but didn't really stick it through, so it was all for nothing anyway. The story. Yeah, it was really embarrassing at the time. The look of one particular parent is engraved into my soul, like a mixture of trying to hold laugh in / you fucked up / I can't wait to tell my mates about this. It's never failed to give people a laugh when I've told them about it, and I'm glad it has made you guys a smile. That was pretty inconsiderate of them to say it's a mixed group, when really it's just a bunch of kids. As soon as they saw you they should have let you know the situation. And to have you play for strangers at the end was just dragging the awkwardness out. Yeah, I kind of feel like this was the teacher advert's fault, not OP's. This is sitcom level material here. I was thoroughly amused. I'm watching Friends right now and I could not stop picturing Ross in this situation. In 2007, I went to what I thought was my first AA meeting. It was being held at a church, and when I walked into where the meeting was supposed to take place, there was 5 to 6 other men sitting down. I took a seat, and after a couple of moments pass, the meeting starts. If my memory is correct, I was asked to introduce myself, so I said, "My name is and I'm an alcoholic." After a few moments, one of the men let me know that I was at a Sex Addicts Anonymous meeting. I apologized and left. Felt really weird about it at the time, but now I just laugh about it. Username checks out. I am not a clever man. Hi, my name is Matt and I'm an alcoholic. Hi Matt, we're not alcoholics. This is the Sex Addicts meeting. Well, nice to meet you. I once interviewed for a job and was taken around the office to meet everyone and see how things worked, but it was one of those types of places where they do morning cheers. Everyone is ultra peppy and cutthroat. It was a sales job with competitive territories, and the energy was just too much. As an introverted, laid-back and uncompetitive worker, I 100% did not belong in that environment. Honest question. How do you manage to build a career in sales being introverted? Just like everybody else. The difference is that you end up physically exhausted every day. Too real, man. Yup, alcohol usually helps. Yeah, strangely I kind of craved it, and I'm not a drinker. My first holiday in foster care was Christmas 2010. I was 14 years old. A freshman in high school. I missed my family and I didn't know anyone there except my foster parents. I felt completely like an alien amongst 50 people. I was young, scared, and alone. I went on my phone and my foster mom raised her voice and told me to get off. That made me snap and I started tearing up, so I went outside in the cold to cry by myself so I wouldn't make a scene. I cried behind a car in the dark in the snow that fell a few days prior. This old man comes outside and calmly talks to me. He tells me that he used to be in foster care too. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he made me laugh and feel a little better. That old man turned out to be who I would call Grandpa Ernie a few years down the road. He passed away a couple springs ago. He always made sure everyone felt welcomed and always would break tension silence with a joke that made everyone laugh. He went through his own hell growing up and he did his best to make sure no one else had to. Rip Ernie. He seemed like a good dude. He sounds like a good guy. I'm happy you had someone who was there for you. I just dropped everything to pursue a career in art. It's been my dream to open up a shop and to just make things and paint. I've been drawing all of my life and I'm honestly not bad. A few weeks ago, I joined a local artists collective. The first meeting we were showing our art, and my heart dropped. Everyone had these gallery-level social justice pieces and there I was with my greeting card and wedding art. I've always struggled with confidence and imposter syndrome, but that hit me hard just how out of my league this group was. I'm staying in it because I think it will challenge me to expand and grow, but damn do I feel incompetent every time I see them. I know this feeling and I don't do wedding and greeting card stuff. I think the majority of artists have imposter syndrome. For myself, I look at paintings I did a year ago and can see how far I've come. I have to focus on how much I am improving instead of how skilled other people are. It's always discouraging for me to see other people's art too, but most artists all feel that way. There's a chance that half the people there found your art better than their art too. Whenever I look at my own work, all I see is the huge list of things I wanted to accomplish with this work but didn't ran out of time. Whereas other people can see some of the flaws, but they never had that original idea of all the things it could have been, so it stands more on its own merits, I think. So the building that I work in has an exclusive cafeteria, and by exclusive I mean that it is only for employees of the insurance company that occupies floors 10 through 18 of our building. It is not for us lowly administrative employees of a major cancer center that occupy floors 5 through 10. We have all heard rumors about this cafeteria and its delicious fresh food plated in a manner rivaling the fanciest Michelin star restaurants, all for low prices. So of course I had to go. The cafeteria is situated on the 15th floor. I got in the elevator only to find that one cannot access the 15th floor without a badge. The buttons simply will not press. Cue me riding up and down the elevator for 10 minutes until I was fortunate enough to ride with a chosen one with a badge. Sweet, forbidden cafeteria food awaits. Once inside I marvel over my choices. So much delicious food everywhere. A pasta station. Salad bar. A fresh grill. Fresh pizza. Daily specials. A carvery with an array of smoked meats. I'm in heaven as I blissfully make my way through my selections up to the cashier. At this point I'm terrified thinking that she is going to ask to see my ID, but she does not. I pay for my food, a meager sum of $7 or $8 for a king's ransom in deliciousness, and thinking that I have pulled off the greatest heist of our time, I make a break for the exit. It was then that I discovered you do not only need a badge to get in, you also need to use your badge to get out. Here I am with my ill-begotten bounty and I am trapped. The door is locked and now heads are turning in my direction. They know. I have been discovered. My only recourse at that point was to hover, head down, around the condiment station gathering random ketchups and soy sauce until some unsuspecting people decided to legitimately exit the cafeteria. I dashed out behind them, my face awash with embarrassment, and loitered in the hallway until they left in the elevator. At that point I returned to the 6th floor in shame and enjoyed my semi-cold forbidden food. That was when I felt like I truly did not belong in a cafeteria. Having to use your badge to exit seems like it would be a fire safety issue. Thank you for watching. Like and write a comment. Subscribe to the channel.